What's up, everybody? Welcome to the episode 1 of Addicted Hunting Podcast. My name is Sean Keller, and we're going to have a fun little conversation tonight.
We are.
It's going to be
We
good.
are.
It'll be
Cliff,
good.
why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Cliff Salee, and then we have another guy over here. He's kind of a big deal.
Marlon the Fever. A few of you guys out there, guys and gals out there listening, might know me from the Addicted Fishing Podcast or just the Addicted Fishing side of things. You might also know Sean from that because he's also helped with that a lot over the years of it growing. And so I'm sure you've seen him around helping with the Fishing Addict side of things. So the backstory, kind of really quick to get you guys kind of introduced to what's going on here with Addicted Hunting. As Sean said, this is episode number 1 of the Addicted Hunting Podcast, and we're excited. We're missing Jesse and Jacob.
I know.
What are they doing? They're partying tonight? What do they got
Yeah,
going on?
Jacob's birthday's tonight, so I think they're hanging out with some family, but we'll keep them in our thoughts.
We'll keep them in our
They'll
thoughts.
be here next time.
They'll be here in the next podcast.
Yeah.
But either way, so let's kind of just go way back and go to when I very first started this whole fishing and hunting and kind of passion. When I first started this whole thing, I actually got everything that was associated with hunting. When I thought about this, I purchased fishingaddicts.com, huntingaddicts.com. I had a website that was huntingandfishingaddicts.com, and the whole plan was to do both. But fishing kind of just controlled me so much, and I was so addicted to fishing that kind of took over, the hunting side. And so it ended up just being this whole fishing addict things. But all of us have still hunted over the years. Even though all of us have fished, all of us have still hunted just as much, and it's been
we're just as passionate about hunting as we are
a huge
fishing.
passion. But so here's what's happened as we've all kind of gotten older. As we've all gotten older, a few of us have really, really gone down the fork of fishing, and a few of us have really, really gone down the fork of hunting. And so it hasn't like separated us as friends, but it's made it so like some of the guys, when you just get that into hunting, you have to spend more time hunting and doing hunting related things. And
Absolutely.
so when you get that into fishing, you have to do the same thing, right?
Just to be successful, like really.
Exactly. And so for years we've talked about addicted hunting, right? We've been, well, why don't we do addicted hunting? People have asked us, why don't you have an addicted hunting? And so finally I went to Sean and I said, dude, what do you think about starting addicted hunting? Like, I think it's freaking time to do it. And you said, dude, let's freaking do it. I'm stoked.
And it was super popular right off the bat.
Right off the bat, we've
Yeah.
gained tons of traction, right?
Yeah.
And so we took Sean. I said, Sean, pick a couple of your buddies that you want, because we need people to be able to make this thing successful. We need hunters. We need guys that are educated and have been doing it for years.
It's
And
not a one-man show. It
Nope. It's gonna
takes
take
a lot of work.
a lot of work from everyone. And so I brought Cliff to the table because I had met Cliff. He actually worked in the same building as me in my day-to-day office job. I just met him underneath in the building, just talking, passing by, talking fishing, talking hunting, and we started hunting together, going on coyote trips, and
That's right.
shot a deer with him one time, and we just kind of started hanging out a bunch and became good friends. And I could see his passion in hunting, and the biggest thing I could see was how hard Cliff worked, and just fitness, and just not just fitness in general, but just the way he works in life. And I knew that was something that would help drive success to the addicted hunting side of things. So I introduced you guys. You guys have since become really good friends, and that's kind of how addicted hunting has been born.
Yeah, when I first met Cliff, I was actually a little bit nervous because I don't like to share much of my hunting
Oh yeah,
You're still
secrets
secretive. Yeah.
with anybody. But the closer I got with Cliff, I realized he's a super good dude, and I can trust him. He's always smiling and positive about everything. And I knew that he'd be just like a great asset to this. So it's been going good, you know.
So with that being said, I think there's a lot of people out there that have asked me, and I'm sure you've gotten the same thing, like, what is addicted hunting? What are you guys going to do with it? What are your plans? What are you going to do? And to me, and I think we all share the same thing, it's the same as fishing addicts. We want to educate, entertain, and inspire people to get into hunting, to live hunting, breathe hunting, and have hunting be an addiction, a part of their life, literally to where they wake up. I mean, that's what all of us do. I mean, that's what you guys do, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And having a format to, bring up certain legal matters or, there's
Just share things with everyone, share stories,
Exactly.
share pictures. be able to connect with like-minded people, right?
Yeah.
Like people that believe in the same things and have the same passions as all of us.
Well, there's so many guys out there that are green, you know, like they don't know. So like this wasn't set up, and I mean there's a lot of pages, but I think where Addicted's gonna have kind of the upper hand is we're a younger group, we're the newer generation. You know, we've all been raised, you know, like the for me anyway, like the blue jean flannel, like going out and hunting, to where it's like now there's so many different brands of camo. There's so much new technology out there. So I think like with the struggles that we've gone through, and taking somebody that's new, that's interested into hunting, and I have so many people that always ask me like, dude, can you take me archery hunting? I've never been hunting. I want to go hunting. Like this year, one of our kids, it's going to be his first year. We're actually adopting him here shortly on October 4th. So
Nice,
it's going to be
dude.
his, like, dude, his first day, like, we're fourth day with us, like, when I got that deer out
You're
here.
taking him rifle hunting this year?
Yeah, he'll be rifle hunting. Yeah, so I'm super stoked. Like, he was with me on some adventures that we'll get into in later weeks. But
Did you get him through his hunter safety and everything?
you know what's crazy is he took it upon himself. So it's like the hook's in. Like he's done. Like
Yeah,
he's not going
he's
any.
addicted.
Yeah.
He's addicted.
Yeah.
No pun intended out
Yeah,
there.
I
But
mean-
regardless, kind of what Cliff's going with this and why he's rambling on, and you can tell and probably hear the passion in his voice, is because that's what it is about, right?
Yeah.
Educating younger people, you know, getting people excited about hunting. Because the fact of the matter is whether people want to believe it out there or not, sportsmen are declining
Yeah.
in the United States, in the world, and we need people to advocate for us and be excited about hunting. And so, you know, we will do our best to get people to be excited about hunting and teach people about hunting and
To give them
entertain
that
people.
spark.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Just get them excited about the outdoors. Like,
Exactly.
you know, we were when we were kids.
Exactly. So just know we're not going to be just another damn Facebook group. We're not going to be just another damn apparel company. There will be videos, education, these entertaining podcasts. You guys did a bunch of filming elk season this year that you guys will get to see a lot of. So we're going to be putting out some really cool stuff. So that is kind of what Addicted Hunting is in a nutshell. Not exactly everything, but at least you guys will get an idea kind of what it is out there.
Yeah, if you can't take anything from Addicted Hunting, at least you can get a laugh out of us. So
Yeah.
Oh, there'll be plenty of those.
yeah.
Plenty of those. Yeah.
Oh, like the video you took of you sitting on the hillside.
Yeah.
I was dying laughing.
Yeah. Dude, it's true. Like it's one of those times. Like, man,
Can we get any worse at hunting?
Dude, it's true. Like you start asking like, over the years, you're like, yeah, I'm getting better. You start learning all these things. But this year, man, like, dude, it was the struggle bus, like from the get go. And so I guess we might as well dive into it.
Yeah, we might as well dive right
You guys
into
wanna
your
dive
guys'
into it?
deer
Yeah.
season, huh?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk about
How's it
that.
been? So you guys are both archery hunters, where I rifle hunt. I haven't switched over to the old bow and arrow yet.
We're working on you.
But I'm
You'll get
starting.
there.
I'll get there eventually.
We'll break
I
you
definitely
down.
want to try it. And going out with Josh and Travis this year during elk season and stuff was just thrilling to me. So I think it definitely lit a spark under me. So
Oh,
It does bring a little bit of an edge and new excitement to the whole hunting world. I'm full on hooked. I grew up a rifle hunter and hunted muzzleloader a little bit, but archery has got me.
I'll never put my bow
It's
down.
got my heart. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
just can't.
with that being said, you hunt early. You love to hunt early
Oh,
season, and you love to hunt late season, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So talk about your season and how it went, and why you like early season, and then you tell us why you like late.
So while this is the thing is I transitioned from it. No, is I used to be into the late season because you get, as Sean knows, like you get the bigger bucks. They get pushed down from the snow, and obviously they're dumb. They're chasing does, and it's just constant action. And then it was one year I was just working up north, and I only had an opportunity to hunt the early season, and dude, I was into deer like right off the get go, and usually it's hot, everything's crunchy, so like you have to change your tactics. So it's like I've never taken my boots off because once again I was a rifle hunter, not always an archery hunter. So taking your boots off, dropping your gear, and like walking in your socks, sneaking in on a deer, dude, like in rattlesnake country,
Exciting. Yeah,
Oh my
exciting.
God. So, yeah, I mean, there was plenty of times where it's I second guess the moves that I made, but it's like the 6 hour stalks. You know, like if you're not patient, wait till the late season because it is we'll bed the bucks up, and then we let them sit there for roughly about an hour, and then we start making our moves, circle the canyon, drop in on top of them, and usually. Not this year, other years prior, we've been pretty successful with it. So, I mean, I shot that.
So what happened this year? Why was this year bad? And everyone else out there listening to the hunting podcast, make sure you guys comment and let us know how your hunting season went. If you're an archery hunter, make sure you comment and let us know how your hunting season went because we're definitely curious how everyone else is doing out there.
Yeah, because I can promise they didn't do as bad as I did. This season. I don't know what was different about the season. The agriculture was a little bit different. They changed. They plowed fields and planted them that they hadn't done in years prior. Bunch of smoke, as Sean knows. There were some areas we got shut out of.
A lot of wildfires.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. Now the area you're hunting
Yeah.
Above lowland farm fields. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I mean, generally, like we can go in there and we've done this this would have been year 4, and I'll just go straight into this year how it went down. And we got up there a couple days prior, set up camp. I was like, you guys, we're not going to go in there. I don't even want to mess with the deer. I know they're going to be there. And we hit some other spots, scouted them out. All we saw were like 8-10 does. Didn't think anything of it. There was a couple bucks that were up in the farmer's field up on there's like a higher prairie that's up there that they farm as well. And then we saw a few bucks up there. Opening morning, we go in. Now keep in mind the guys that I drag, when I say drag with me, I literally drag them up the hill. So here I am, I'm like, dude, I'm going to get all this on video. It's going to be awesome. And so I strap my bow to my backpack. And I don't look at anybody else. Gone, up the hill. So we're going, and then we jump like a doe. And I'm like, oh, cool, yeah. We're not even to where we need to be. We're already seeing deer. And then right after I saw her, I crested the hill. And at 60 yards, there's a 4-point in velvet and a 3-point in velvet looking right at me. And I turn to my right. There's nobody there. I turn a little bit more to my right. There's still nobody there. I look back. Dude, these guys are like 40 to 50 yards behind me. I'm like, what? Come on. So I'm like, at first I'm being patient. I'm like waving them in as fast as I can. And they're like dropping their backpacks trying to get there. And then they start creeping. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Just come up here. Like at this point I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, I'm the one that spooked the deer. I'll take the blame on that. But
well, and you weren't expecting,
No.
because normally you spot and stalk deer. You
Yeah.
wait till they're in their beds and
Yep.
you get a vantage point,
Yeah.
with the wind and whatnot.
like a sniper,
But,
man.
When you're archery hunting, I'm new to early season. I've only done a couple years, but you don't expect to walk over a ridge line and there be a buck standing there broadside.
No.
I mean,
No. It's all about sneaking and like just every single step matters. That's why I was saying like 6 hours is a relatively normal stalk for me. Like, I mean, you're going to chew up most of your day, so you better make sure that it's at least a decent buck that you're going to go after. And so obviously they blow out, but I'm like, dude, we're on the bucks already. I'm like, this is going to just be a killer year. So we get over to the camp. It's a big bowl that we hunt. And we get over there, and there's this coyote down in the bottom, and it's yipping. And I'm like, okay, whatever. It can't be that big of a deal. We're sitting there, and we're glassing. I'm looking in the areas where they normally are. Nothing. Dude, bust out the spotting scope. Maybe they're bedded down early, so I'm just picking everything apart. Nothing. Now it's like 10 o'clock. I'm like, dude, I don't know. This, okay, one day, not a big deal.
Did you have plan B, C, D, E,
Oh,
F?
dude, no, I had my eggs all in one basket, man, all in one basket. And so we, that's day one. I was like, I don't know, guys. Like, we'll hit that other spot. And I didn't see any bucks in it, but I was like, hey, it can't be any worse. But what I didn't know is like I was telling you, Sean, is my buddy Tony, his heel was raw. So like by the time we got out, I mean, it was bad. He bought brand new boots, went out there, hiked up the hill. He's like, I didn't even feel it. I'm like, I got pictures I'll post up. You'll feel that. Like I felt it. Just you could feel it when you look at the pictures. So jumping into the next day, like he's like, I'm just.
Hold up.
Oh.
I got to add something in here. You know, we're talking about blisters.
Yeah.
All right. So for you guys that are listening, if I can give you any advice, is merino wool socks. 100% merino wool
100%.
socks, and make sure you wear your boots at least 3 months. You know, wear them for a good 3 months before hunt season, and you will prevent from getting blisters. Anyways, go on.
No, for sure, man. So we obviously we went out. Next day, he's like, dude, I'm gonna stay in camp. He's like, there's no way. Like I just can't go out hiking. There's no reason for me to talk about the night hunt because it sucked. Just so you know. So we went and messed around in some areas. Again, just seeing does, more bucks up in the fields up above, and I mean. Dude, we saw one 4-point that was bedded down that just, like, the ones that are in your dreams, like just a giant velvet buck. And I'm like, we're still like 2 miles from even, like, state land. And I'm like, you think maybe, if it was the rut, maybe he would go. He might chase some does that way, but... So we leave that. We go back to camp. I think at this point we had to go to the store. But... to mend Tony's feet because they were that bad, and we go out that night, go into another area, don't see anything. Next morning, I'm like, all right, you guys, we're gonna get up super early, we're gonna head in, like there's gonna be nothing there, like as far as like the coyote, we're gonna be good, I promise. Trudge up the hill, get in there even earlier than we did the day before, or the day prior. Get in there, glass. 10 o'clock rolls around. I'm like,
You just weren't there.
They weren't. So and the only thing that I can think of is that they changed up the ag this year. Years prior they planted the field that we were in, but they're not in, but next to, but it was already cut. So I don't know if that played a role in it. And then the year after that, they didn't do anything in it. And then the year after that, they didn't do anything in it. So I'm just sitting here thinking, now this year they planted it, but they didn't cut it. And it's all wheat.
Did you guys have any fires in the hills above where you guys were hunting?
No, not now across the river. Yeah, we were probably 30 miles from a fire,
Yeah.
but the smoke was still, I mean, scent control, who cared? Like, I mean, everything smelled like smoke. And I don't know if that played a role. I mean, I would think if we were a little bit closer, which led me to my next great idea that we'll get into that. But again, like nothing. So I'm like, dude, we're going to have to go to a different unit. I mean, we traveled like 60 miles up to a different area. I was just looking at harvest reports from years prior. I was like, dude, this unit's good. This unit's great. Like, they got a great harvest percentage. It's like, we'll go kill a deer there. Great idea number 2. So the only thing that was shot at that day was a grouse, and it was missed. And I mean, dude, now it's getting to the point to where it's like, we'd been up there since the Thursday before, and now it's like Wednesday. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what to do. Like I was ready just to abandon everything and almost come back home and hit some spots locally. And then last day we just did a morning hunt, and I mean every day we were averaging probably 7.5 to 8 miles. So I mean we were covering ground, but there was just nothing there. Everything was either up on top in the farmers' fields, or I don't know. I have absolutely no clue. This is the first year that I've been up there to where I've been absolutely clueless.
Well, in early season, in a perfect world, you shouldn't be covering 8 miles a day. You should be covering that with your eyes, you know, and you should be glassing. But when there's no deer, you got to do what you got to do, and you got to, go to the next drainage. Keep moving, stay mobile. Yeah,
it was really rough because, like I said, I'm not used to not seeing anything. And I mean, like I said, the first day going in, seeing those 2 bucks, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the best year yet. I mean, next year, the way I'm going to go at it is I'm throwing a dart at the dartboard. Like, that's where I'm at with it. I'm like,
and mind you guys, Cliff has killed a hoser buck in this area. So like he knows there's deer there.
Yeah, there's some good bucks. There's some really good bucks. Yeah, he scored 150 and 3/8 after 20 inches of deductions.
Yeah, that's a great buck for Washington.
Yeah, yeah. This is not a Utah buck. Yeah. No, Utah, they'd be like, oh, that was a small one. We'll let it go. Yeah.
Well, dude, so this year I tried to, because I was super excited to help Josh out, because me and him buy a Weyerhaeuser permit every year. And so this year we got excited, and I put a lot of work in. I had like 5 trail cameras going at first. And then we actually narrowed it down to 2 because 3 of them just weren't doing what we wanted them to do. And 2 of them were getting hit like hard. And we were just putting a little salt out, a couple salt blocks at first.
Which is legal in our state, just in case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then a few apples hereafter, not a ton. You don't really need much. Like, you literally can put out like 10 apples and they'll come in like snap of the finger within a couple days. So
hand feed them.
Anyway, so we have one camera set that's doing really good. A few different bucks coming in like every day. And Josh doesn't really care. Josh just wants to fill his tag every year. He's not out trying to kill a hoser or anything, but it's nice killing a buck, right?
Yeah.
So we have a few nice bucks coming in there. And we go in one day and my trail camera is jacked. So I'm like, mother effer, and we're more mad that someone found our spot. Not that this sucked the trail camera got jacked, but more I was mad that, crap, now someone's here. Should we move it? What should we do?
Yeah, because they have your pictures.
They have our pictures, right?
They know what's
all
coming
of
in
our
there.
bucks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I'm like, screw it, dude. Let's just stay. So I bought another trail camera, and this time I bought a lockbox and a safety chain. And I made it to basically where they got to cut down the entire tree to get my trail cam off.
That's how I do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that's how I put the second one up. And we have this, there's a 3-point with eye guards and a big fork and horn that literally come, I'm not even kidding, every single day they come in. Every day they're coming in. Like clockwork. Between like 6:50 a.m. and like 9 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
But we didn't want to put our ground blind out, and we didn't have a tree stand up. I usually use ground blinds. Like I've told Sean before, I use these pop-up ground blinds. But what I normally do, I set them up like 3 weeks to a month ahead, and I let them sit there. And so the deer get used to them. The deer know they're there. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't want to do that here because I didn't want them to get jacked.
Stolen.
I didn't want it to get stolen. So I'm like, well, dude, maybe if we just set it back far enough, we'll get it out of the way. The deer won't care, right? Well, they cared.
Those bucks are smart.
Those bucks freaking knew.
Come September.
We sat in that stand, in that ground blind that morning until 9:45. They never came in. We left that stand. I checked the camera the next day. Those little mother effers came in at 11:42.
Oh, after you left?
After we left and ate all the apples.
Oh, yeah.
So they could smell us. They could smell us, or they recognized the ground blind. They knew when they came in something was different.
Yep.
And so they turned around and left. So just a little advice to people out there, something I learned this year. I thought, they ain't going to be able to tell. There's no way. Well, they could freaking tell.
Oh, yeah.
But we couldn't risk it. So now what we did is we actually moved it and we put up a tree stand. And Josh doesn't have any more season, but I'm going to rifle hunt in there and all that kind of stuff. So I'm keeping it going.
Yeah, that's something to definitely think about. And, before last year, I was not a believer in the ground blind. I'm like, that is a waste of your time. You're gonna get winded. I believe I play the wind. That is my
That's the only way
number
to be scent
one
free,
thing.
man.
Yeah, that's how I kill. I play the wind, and I don't like being that vulnerable.
Yeah.
I don't like being stuck in a ground level where the wind can switch.
Yep.
But in certain areas, you do get a consistent wind from the east or the west, and you can. If you set your ground blind up in the right spot, it can be super productive. And Marlon showed me that last year. He's like, dude, you got to go sit in my ground blind because my girlfriend had a rifle tag. And he's like, you got to go sit in that thing. And I'm like, I don't know, man. But I went and sat in there, and we sat there for 10 minutes. And
dude, I was a believer after she smoked hers, man, because
Katie,
I went in there.
Yeah, Katie filled her tag.
Yeah.
A couple guys filled their tag.
Cliff went in there, too, and filled his archery tag.
Yeah, so those things are awesome.
And Nick, our guy who's running our podcast this year, he's going to help me get a set going in there this year. He's going to try to kill a deer.
Awesome,
There you go.
yes.
Yeah.
And they're comfortable, and you can stay out of the weather.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can,
I
find
will say the key is, though, I have learned now from multiple experiences, you got to set that thing up in there and let them get comfortable with it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let the sound, the noise, because it's a different noise with the wind or rain hitting it.
Yep.
All the different things, like those deer need to be used to it, because they definitely, like the first couple, they don't come in. Like they'll be bounced out for a little bit until they realize it's safe again.
Yeah. One thing that helps though too with that is like brushing them in, like getting branches, and because they have the little pockets and everything that you can put into them.
Yep.
So that'll help with like some of the noise on top with raindrops and stuff like that. But you're completely right. Getting them in there early so they get used to it, it's key.
That's exactly what me and Josh should have done, was brushed ours in.
Yeah.
Like, we should have just spent a little extra time and freaking brushed it in.
Yeah.
Because then it's got extra scent going on in the area too, like all those fir branches and stuff. You're breaking it, then you get the pitch, like a lot more smell than just human scent too.
Yeah.
And
well.
I'm not huge on
Shoulda,
stand hunting. I played with it a little bit throughout the years, but I don't remember where I heard this from. It could have been another podcast. It could have been a buddy. I can't remember, but I heard if you take an old T-shirt and you put
I
it
heard
in
the
there.
same thing like recently.
Yes. Put it on your stand or next to your stand and let that thing soak so the deer get used to that scent, and then that's one less thing. It's kind of like you're using your own scent as a cover scent because the deer get used to it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I've heard that somewhere.
Dude, I mean, it makes sense, but who the heck? I mean, how would you know, right?
I don't know.
But I mean, that's the same. I mean, it's the same concept. Like I was just saying with the ground blind, letting them get used to it. So I mean, that's
Yeah, I mean,
Makes
because you
sense.
cannot get all your scent off that ground blind.
no.
Like,
The Blacktail Hunter app guy. Have you ever watched his video on Sense? You should watch him. It's hilarious.
I'll check it out.
The Blacktail Hunter app guy, everyone out there listening, he has an app where he just does like video content about hunting blacktail deer, and he does a video about cover scent where he basically makes fun of like every single like scent away, all the different brands out there, and basically says that they're a joke and that science proves that they're a joke, and he talks about why and how you can't literally, it's impossible to spray something on yourself and cover your scent because your human scent doesn't actually sit on you, it sits off your body.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't sit, like your scent isn't coming off you.
Yeah.
Like you have like a scent, just like a human or a
it radiates.
every
exactly,
time you
which is why
breathe.
you're like attracted to a female. Like it's their like. It sounds freaking weird to think about it, but that's literally what it is. We're mammals. We're human. I mean, you know, unless you swing the other way. I don't know.
Right, well, no. There. Nah, that was college. No, I didn't go to college.
All right, Sean, let's talk a little bit about late season. What? So you don't do any early season, or you go out for fun just to get in the woods, or?
So, I've played with early season for the last couple years. You know, like when me and Lonnie lived in Wyoming, it was great because
That doesn't count.
yeah,
We're talking Washington State.
okay,
Black-tailed
Washington
deer.
State. Yeah, last year was my really first year hunting early season, and it was actually I surprised myself. I picked an area, and my folks actually moved to this area, so I'm like, great, I can go up and visit my folks and maybe find some new hunting grounds.
Where's this area?
Yeah.
That is
won't
cool
say.
though. I never thought about that because you can go visit your parents, and it's just a good excuse to go
Yeah.
hunting.
Yeah.
And I go up there, and I was blown away by the amount of bucks I seen like 22 different bucks in like the first
You have
day.
trail cameras and stuff over there, don't you?
Yeah, I got one. I need to go get that thing, by the way. But yeah, and it was awesome. We stalked 2 really nice shooter bucks. Almost killed one of them.
This weekend?
No,
I mean-
this was last year.
Oh, so what about this year?
Last year. I'm leading up to that.
okay.
So I found this. I thought I found this like great spot. Like there
Yeah,
was
because it
all
was
these
good
bucks.
last year.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's what they
And-
all say.
My bad.
Yeah, and last year there was fires over there. Like the sky was filled with smoke. Like everything that you think would like ruin your hunt, it didn't matter. The bucks were there.
Yeah.
And this year the same thing. There was fires all around there. But I'm like, well, it's the same conditions as last year, but cooler. So I'm like, great. Like it was 100 degrees last year opening weekend.
Yeah, we had great weather this year.
Yeah, it was 70. Like
Yeah.
for Labor Day weekend.
Maybe that was the problem.
Maybe, but you think, we're growing up blacktail hunters, like cooler the better, rain,
Yeah.
We go in there, me, Jesse, Jacob, and Bobby went up there, and
Bobby?
Bobby came
What?
with us. Yeah.
I thought he was dead.
Yeah, Bobby came up, and
Just kidding, Bobby. I miss you and love you if you listen to this.
I talked to my folks, and they're like, yeah, our friends have been seeing bucks running around everywhere. Like, and I'm like getting stoked. This is the night before opening day. I'm like, great. You know, they're going to be up on the same basin that I normally hunt. And we get up there and same thing that Cliff ran into. It was crickets.
Mm-hmm.
Crickets and crickets and crickets. I think we seen more bears than we seen deer.
You didn't get into any deer, or did you get into any bucks?
We seen 6 or 7 does the entire weekend. I think we seen 6 bears, and we had the same issue. We went, you know, because this is all high country above agricultural farming land, and went down low, and the fields were just filled with bucks. Yep. And I don't know. I cannot tell you why. Like, I don't know why.
Is it? Maybe it has something to do with it is the weather. Maybe the weather was conducive for like good growing or something.
I mean, it was super. Like we had like leading up to that week, like it was over 100 degrees up where I was, and then it dropped to the 70s. So I would like that's why I'm like, dude, these deer are gonna be moving around. Okay, they're probably not gonna bed down till later.
Just talk to the farmers over there.
Yeah, I should.
You go where I go. Like, don't get out. Like they'll basically come out and tell you don't even get out of your rig. Like okay. where I've gone and like you talk to some of the locals, they'll flat out tell you don't waste your time.
That can't be everyone, but
no, but there's the guy there's one guy that owns a huge majority of it up there, and he's a bird hunter, so he doesn't allow deer hunters on his property, and I mean he owns a grip of land that's up there. So
why doesn't he allow deer hunters? Because he's a bird hunter.
I don't know. I talked to him.
Does he deer hunt?
No.
I mean, I guess I
if I own property, I ain't letting you on it either. But I would have a sign or something. I would have a reasoning why. I mean, I would.
Yeah. That's tough. I've never been big on asking permission to hunt private land just because I get like
shot down.
No, I get like a ton of like gratification out of killing bucks on public
land. Dude, on public land, absolutely. Yeah, when you're facing the same thing everybody else is.
Not me. Who the F cares? It's still a deer. It's still an animal. It's still incredibly hard to kill. Doesn't matter if it's on private or public.
Yeah, that's, you know.
A lot of the public lands you're hunting are bordering private lands.
Dude, this is going to go in a
very
whole
true. Yeah, I know.
Let's pause this.
You're shooting private.
It's gonna lead in. Yeah, we're gonna have to do another one on that.
How many places over east do you hunt that are bordering Indian places, which is all private? That's basically all private land.
I plead the fifth.
That's true, but it's I feel like it's different when it comes to like farmland and timberland.
I guess farmland, yeah, because those little like those fields are kind of like
that's where they feed. So you're kind of
I'm doing the farmer a favor.
Those deer are vulnerable at that point, because that's where they go for feed every single day. Yeah. But, if you can catch those deer in transition, I don't know. It's just a game. I get what you're saying, but...
You realize what you just said? You said those deer are vulnerable because they go there for feed every day. But then you go into the woods and you drop bales of alfalfa and you wait for the deer to go to the feed every day.
That's just called
making them vulnerable.
Only, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
So to me, it's like, I don't care if they're in a field or whatever. You still, if that deer's in that field, it's not like you're just going to get out and go shoot that deer.
No.
Yeah.
You're still going to have to like get out, stalk it up, and it's probably going to be freaking harder because there's 15 other bucks around him.
Yeah, that's numbers and eyes are that's the tough part. And that's another thing like I didn't say either is usually I try to find one buck. Like in the early season, because your odds of killing that one deer versus like you see even like a bachelor group of bucks, dude. If there's another set of eyes, another nose, another set of ears, like dude, that
so
weighs
much
the odds.
Harder.
And dude, when one goes, like they don't even look, like they just run. At least where I am, they don't stop. Like as soon as one deer gets up, they're gone.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. But why Sean? Let's go back to you. Like with the late
sorry,
season.
Sean, we got off on a tangent. Then I wanted to argue with you. So let's talk about late season.
You had a good point.
Let's talk about late season, though, because that intrigues the hell out of me because of the pictures of the bucks that you guys get.
So I really enjoy late season because I love hunting in cold weather. I hate that. That's one of the main reasons, because I hate hunting in hot weather. I don't like it. But you know, you got bucks that are catching the tail end of that rut or post rut. You know, they're still chasing does a little bit, and if they're not chasing does, they seem to be grouped up with the does. And if we get a good, you know, snow, or a good push of weather, the bucks come out of the high country and
big bucks.
Yeah. And
for Washington, we got to keep saying that. Like, but we get some big bucks here in Washington that people don't know about.
Yeah, we've got some 180 class bucks, you know, and we're talking about Cascade bucks right now. Yeah. So these bucks are a mix between mule deer and blacktail.
Bench legs.
People call them bench legs, Cascade, blacktail, whatever you want to call them. But we do get some giant bucks, and at least a couple are killed every year. And especially if we get, like I said, get that big snow, pushes all those bucks down off the high country, and we can either ambush them via spot and stock, or we set up stands with.
And you got a giant one, or Jacob got a giant one last year.
Yeah, so Jacob killed a stud, 150 class buck.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah,
wow.
just a stud.
So big.
And if anybody follows on Addicted Hunting, I'm sure they've seen it, and I'm sure I'll keep posting it because I'm in love with that deer.
Yeah, that thing's freaking so
big. I don't think I've seen it.
He got that thing mounted, right?
Yeah, I think it's getting, like, it's in the process right now.
Yeah. So everyone out there listening, what do you guys, before Sean kind of digs more into the late season, comment. Let us know what you like better if you're an archery hunter. Do you like early season? Do you like late season? I like rifle season so I can hunt them during the rut, which is why late season archery intrigues me.
Yep. Yeah. And so you can kind of, there's some similarities with those style of huntings, but you got stick and string in your hand for late season archery, but the deer act a lot the same. And if you're lucky, it seems like it's on like a 3-year pattern with this state, but every 3 years we'll just get like a banner late season where like the snow comes in.
They said it's supposed to be a gnarly winter this year.
Yeah, the bucks are still rutting. Like you're catching the tail end of that rut, and that's when big bucks die here.
Yeah.
And Good thing I got a multi-season deer tag.
Exactly. That's another great thing about this state is we can, put in for that multi-season deer tag. And I draw it, I think, every year.
Yeah.
I mean, I drew it this year.
I found something out this year that I didn't know, and I'm kind of sad that you've never told me this, that you can go buy the leftover multi-season elk tags that don't get drawn.
You didn't know that?
No, and this dude's like, I'm literally running to this guy at the gas station, and he's from, like, and get this, he's from Montana.
And he knows about it.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm just driving into town because it's the weekend you buy the multi-season elk tag over here.
So hold on, hold on.
What? He's like, yeah, I drive over here from Montana. I hunt with my brother every year over here.
He comes from Montana to hunt Washington?
Yeah, he hunts in Montana too, but so he comes over here and he buys the multi-season, and I'm like, what do you mean you're buying it? He's like, oh yeah, they have leftovers every year. I'm like, how do they have leftovers when I put in to draw and don't get drawn? How does that make any sense?
So, yeah, but you literally have to be in line, like, waiting the minute they go on sale.
And elk be the especially.
First. There's usually, like, some years are different, but there's usually like 5 in the whole state, and you've got all these people sitting at the Sportsman's Warehouse or their Fred Meyer waiting to do this, and whatever transaction goes through first is who gets the leftover elk tag.
You better believe next year I'm getting that tag.
We'll just go to 5 different
Travis
stores and
Bishop,
take them all up.
I'm going to need you to wake up early and let me into Sportsman's Warehouse early that day.
Submit the paperwork.
Yes, at midnight.
There you go.
Yeah, I thought about doing it. I put in for it every year also. I haven't drawn it yet, but another cool thing about that, I didn't want to dig too deep into elk hunting, but the cool thing about the multi-season elk tag here is when we buy elk tags as a resident over the counter, you have to choose west side or east side when it comes to applying for permits and for, if you want to hunt elk on which side of the state. Well, when you draw the multi-season, you can hunt elk throughout the entire state, and you can put in for special permits throughout the entire state.
Yeah.
So it kind of opens up some options, especially for guys that are getting up there in points.
Oh, I got some points.
Which
that are
I
gonna
think
be an
we're
option,
all getting up there. So
Yeah.
you guys, hopefully, we're gonna have some quality elk
Yeah.
tags to be, elk hunts to be sharing with you.
I'm
guys
not an elk
soon.
hunter. I just got points. That's all I got.
Well, good thing you're friends with some elk.
I know.
hunters.
I know some guys.
All right, let's get back to your late season. Continue talking about it.
So yeah, talking about I just like late season because you get those deer in the post rut. Like I was saying, it is hit and miss. We do hunt them in stands. I don't know. I'm starting to lean more towards Cliff's side though. Like I do like hunting late season, but when you do catch or find a good spot for early season, spot and stalk hunting is pretty fun.
Yeah. No, I love it. Like I said, dude, getting into your socks. Because one thing that sucks about late season, we had 1 year.
It's cold.
Well, I mean, and I don't mind the cold. Like, but there was 1 year we had all this snow, and then all of a sudden so we get a lot of freezing rain. I mean, a lot of people, you think late season, you think snow, but we
Try stalking a deer in freezing rain.
You don't.
No.
You just go home.
Yep.
It's a waste of time. Not really. I'll still go out and give her hell because the thing is, I'm out there anyway. But that's what kind of turned me more towards the early season versus the late season. But I like extending my seasons. My wife doesn't, but she'll get over it. That's why I can't pull the multi-season tag because I don't want to get a divorce. Because I'd be gone all the time. Like I love deer hunting. I mean,
Katie's coming with me to late camp this year.
Is she?
took time off, so it's
That's
like
awesome,
a
man.
little bit of chunk of time we get to just hang out and
There you go.
camp.
You're gonna drag her into a stand.
So next year,
She can be your cameraman.
well, I'm putting in for multi-season next year, and then Lindsay, Bobby's wife, was talking to her about if she doesn't draw multi-season, just get an archery tag, and we're gonna set up a ground blind, and they're gonna go hang out in the ground blind.
There you go.
And Katie's becoming an insane shot. Like she's impressive. So I know she can shoot a deer out to 40. So
That's awesome.
yeah, like I always thought that I didn't want my girlfriend to archery hunt with me, but like for deer at least, like I think it would be great, and we just get to spend more time together. So
It's my time.
is that cheesy?
No,
I get
she's
early
gonna-
season.
I tried to get Sharon into it, and she's just not into it. She likes to go with me. She loves to go and be in the woods when we're driving in the woods.
Yeah.
That's not hunting.
No.
And so when I try to get her out and she got the, Washington has that thing where you can defer your hunter safety 1 year to see if you like hunting, right? So
Yeah.
you go out with someone who's experienced. Well, I took her out, and after about 3 hikes, she
Done.
she was over it.
Yeah.
Well, and let's clear things up. Marlon goes ham. He goes hard.
Yeah.
Like when he's hiking, he does go hard. So I mean, I understand.
I've
feel
seen
for
that
you, Sharon.
during shed hunting season.
Yeah.
I almost died. Yeah, I don't know, but she loves the woods and stuff. But I'm kind of happy that she's, she likes to be out there with me every once in a while. But I definitely don't want her to be like, yeah, let's go hunting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I'm
you
just
gotta have your
not-
time too.
Yeah.
I'm just not. But everyone's different.
Absolutely.
Everyone's different. Well, with all that being said, dude, I think we better wrap this podcast up. I think people have had we've talked about some good subjects.
Yeah,
tonight.
we've talked about some good stuff. I hope that you guys can at least take something from this podcast. This is number 1, so
Number 1.
we
there's
got
gonna
we
be
got
a
a
lot
lot more
Yeah.
stuff to share.
We're planning on releasing one of these every single week, everyone. So if you guys can please hit that subscribe button. This will be available on Google Play and iTunes. Addicted Hunting Podcast. Also, actually, it'll be available on Spotify too. I forgot. So you can stream it on all 3 places. So make sure you guys hit subscribe. Look out for episode number 2. We'll make sure we got Jesse in here, right, Sean?
Yep. We're gonna get Jesse and Jacob in here, I think, next week, hopefully. So
Talk about some elk hunting.
yeah, we got some good stuff, some good stories to tell. So
Sounds good. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. for
yeah,
tuning
thank you
in.
guys.
Thank you.